day. And Jon Jones, we know how vicious he is on the ground, but just even from a striking battle, this is a fascinating matchup. How would you see Jon Jones, taking on a guy like Israel Adesanya, which, does seem like they're on a bit of a collision course to happen at some point?
You talking about striking-wise? Striking-wise, here's the deal. John's fought some big, tall, long guys before, and he's done well. The first fight with Gustafsson, wasn't John's great night by any means. Lack of not all Jon Jones was there for many reasons that fight, but he's already fought a lot of long guys. I'm not sure if Izzy's fought a Jon Jones before as far as length goes, and definitely nobody's fought Jon Jones as far as skill set goes. I know everybody that's come in my gym, they're big heavyweights. They come in, and I think they immediately are surprised by how big John's presence is in the cage when they start working out with him.
It's interesting because in the past we've seen Jon take on a guy like Thiago Santos, for example, coach, and he wanted to beat Thiago in the area that he was best in. He wanted to beat Thiago on the feet. Do you see that as this feud with the Israel is pretty heated. Do you see that as the case going into this fight? Jon Jones looking to beat him in the area that he's best at, which is on the feet?
Maybe, that's Jon. And John's been known to make up his own mind, but sometimes a little bit on his own and challenge himself. And he always finds a way. There's no doubt about it. So if in John's mind, he says, I'm going to beat him on the feet, that's what he's going to do. But if Jon says, you know what, I want to go home and just secure the win and show him what MMA is all about, welcome to my world, I'm sure he'll take him down and blood him up with elbows.
I'm wondering, from your perspective, and you've coached some of the best strikers in the world, some of the best fighters in the world, Jon Jones, the list goes on. How do you rate Israel, his striking and his abilities? Are you impressed by what you see in there?
Oh, absolutely. All right. Who could not be? I'm always amazed at some things he does. I'm thinking to myself, gosh, if this guy only did this against him, and then Izzy makes a small correction and solves that problem. So he's a hard guy to figure out in that he has so many skills and such great timing, great speed, and takedown defense. He's so well rounded and getting better. He's getting better every fight. I'm watching it. I'm real impressed with what they've been able to do down there with the team down there in New Zealand.
Oh God, Garrett, this was a bad idea. It's lumping. You can feel like the lumps forming, like touch right here, right there.
Oh yes.
I'd certainly have to go into that fight with a different strategy and different game plan. I cannot go into the same fight with the same attitude and think I'll get a different result. So I've got a good team around me. I'm going to go into that fight with the knowledge of the last fight and how I've built up to now, as well as seeing his last few fights. He's going to be a hard fight. He's going to be a tough fight. I know this. And he's going to come in there very confident, very, very confident. He's a dangerous fight. But, I may have one or two tricks up my sleeve still.
Yeah, when you watch that first fight back, I know, Rob, you're like one of the most humble guys out there. You're not gonna, go off about excuses and everything. But when you watch that first fight back, does it make you kind of cringe in a way, being like, that's not a guy in there that, was me or performing to the best of my abilities?
Yeah, I hate watching it. It was a terrible fight. It is what it is. It's one of those things, I could be on and still lose. It's one of those things. That's why this sport is so cutthroat. It's ruthless in a way. But I think I have the skill set to get across that line. And I want to take it to him. I want to run that back. I want to give it another shot. I'm going to try.